Some argue, had Donald Trump been in office, the war would never have happened at all. Do you buy that? Hello, this is Victoria Derbyshire in the Ukrainecast studio.
And this is Vitaly Shevchenko, also in the Ukrainecast studio. And I'm delighted to say that we're being joined via video link by Ukraine's former foreign minister, Dmytro Kuleba. Pane Kuleba, hello.
Hi, it's good to be with you.
I wonder what you think of Antony Blinken and Joe Biden's approach to President Zelensky and the defence of Ukraine, because Zelensky wanted F-16s. No, you can't have them. Eventually, you were given them. Zelensky wanted tanks. No, you can't have them. That might provoke President Putin even more. Eventually, you get them. Wanted permission to fire US-manufactured missiles into Russia. No, you can't do that. Eventually, permission was given. Have they been too cautious?
Well, that's a very accurate description of how decisions were made in the course of the first years of the invasion. And I think that the legacy of the Biden administration is on Ukraine is overshadowed by their own non-escalation strategy. They did a lot of things, and Ukrainians were lucky to have President Biden in the office when this invasion began, because he had a place for Ukraine in his heart, and he was overall making right decisions.
I'm just going to interject there, if I may. I'm so sorry, because you will know that some argue, had Donald Trump been in office, the war would never have happened at all. Do you buy that?
That's a very hypothetical assumption.
It is. It was a question. What do you think?
That brings us to the fundamental question whether this war could have been avoided at all, irrespective of the name of the US president. And I have dedicated a hell deal of a time to finding an answer to it. Because, as I said, if the war breaks out, it means that diplomacy failed. So, as a diplomat, I had to find an answer to that, and I'm a biased opinion maker here. But I came to the following conclusion: I think this war was unavoidable, but it could have been delayed. By years, no. By months, probably, yes. So Putin would have invaded Ukraine because everything he knew about the West, everything he had learned about the West was the expectation that the West would not react appropriately to his invasion. And he turned wrong on this account, but we're still where we are. So the good news is that we're alive and fighting. The bad news is that we are fighting for 3 years now. And we could have ended this war. I mean, we could have been in a much better position if the non-escalation approach was not the dominant line of thinking, not only in Washington, but also in some European, in Berlin and some other European capitals.
I want to play you this clip, which is from a student in Kyiv who we have become friends with on our podcast since the war broke out, since the full-scale invasion. And he, in our Christmas episode, discussed his hopes and fears for 2025. This is Vitaly.
There are talks about lowering the mobilization age from 25 to 18. So if Trump, for example, gets inaugurated and said, guys, we are not going to send you any more help, there will be no other choice but to send those who are age 18 to 25, including myself, to the front line, even at the risk of us getting killed.
Is there any truth in that, first of all?
I don't think the drop will be as dramatic as it sounds. I mean, I do not see why it should go straight to 18.
Right, but you're expecting it to come down again from 25, it sounds like.
I don't have an answer to that. I'm not expecting that because it's the generals who have to make this argument to the political leadership and to the parliament, and most importantly to the people of Ukraine, why it has to be done.
Sure.
Because it will be an extremely painful decision, which will not be welcomed by any part of the Ukrainian society. But so I don't know whether this is going to happen, but if it is to happen, I am certain that it will not go down, the age will not go down to 18 right away. They will maybe go 1-2 years down, because I think the only person who would be happy with going down to 18 would be my son, who is 18 years old. And
He wants to fight. He wants to fight, does he?
He's taking military classes, and I barely convinced him to continue with his studies at the university at this point.
How would you feel if your son went to fight for your country?
I will respect his decision. I think this is something that you should not be seeking, but if your time comes, you should face the challenge with dignity.
Wow. You would respect his decision, but gosh, as a father, that must tear your heart in two.
He's an adult. I mean, he is an adult. He can make the decisions that he wants, and I have to support him in that. My goal is not to be the father who is breaking his children down because he believes that he knows better than them. So what I think about this decision is a different thing, but as I said, he's 18, and all I ask him to do is just to get a university to get a university degree, because it will be extremely difficult to finish your studies after coming from the front line.